I wanted to do a video talking about tools, first time boxes, and setups, what tools people talk about upgrading later, buying good off the bat, because there is so much mixed information out there. I think people have really lost more important points. First of all, when people ask, okay, what do I need for a first time box? There's not a solid answer for that. Do not sit back and think there's going to be a list that's going to match everybody. You might be working in a lube shop, you may be working in a full service shop. Your shop may not even do tire rotations. Your other shop may do a ton of tire rotations. It's important to have different material for depending upon what your shop's doing. As far as the box itself, believe me, you can start with a small box, the basic cart, the roll around, because even the top-notch mechanics have a simple roll around or something that can stay close, or even if it's one of the little $100 lock boxes from Harbor Freight or from wherever, those boxes can still be used later, so that investment never hurts. The thing that gets me is people will go out and say they buy a cheap off-brand power tool and it's not only good for a year. It's a total waste of money. They say, well, I started basic. No, you wasted $100. You really need to take that, invest in something you're going to have regularly. I've been doing this a lot of years, and power tools have never gone out of season, no matter what. You need to think about things like that. You need to think about the sockets you buy. I'm not saying you have to buy the most expensive sockets there is, but I'm saying don't buy junk ones that you're going to upgrade in 6 months. That's not really a point. There are tools you can buy cheap that you need to think it doesn't make a big difference. For example, pry bars. I've got the cheapest pry bars there are, because even if they break, they're still under the warranty over at Harbor Freight. I'm going to go right over to the Harbor Freight on my lunch break and I'll get another brand new one. I'll be back at the shop after lunch, even if the pry bar broke. As far as specialty tools, you can buy those when you see that there is the actual market for them. I have a very nice 11-piece spark plug socket set from Cornwell. I'm going to tell you right now, I waited until there was a couple of spark plug jobs that I knew that was going to make my job easier and I would get a return on my investment. I have made the return on investment, but that's not something you buy first day. Other things that don't really make a big difference, the cheap pick set. I've got a good pick set in case I'm afraid it's something I'm going to need heavier duty. I've got cheap stuff that can break. Safety glasses, you replace them when they get scratched. I don't spend good money on them. Things that will be in the position for the warranty or junk, don't spend good money on. Things like ratchets, a lot of people say, well, it's a lifetime warranty. Okay, if you can feel the drag, if your hand is more fatigued, if it doesn't fit in the right type of spaces, depending upon certain cars you may be working on in your shop, something more common, you need to invest in more quality pieces off the bat. Don't waste the $100 on one super cheap set of garbage that you're going to upgrade in 6 months later. Try to find a better way to just invest in the right tools off the bat. As far as the starter set, if you're going into, say, a specific mom and pop style shop, or if you're going to the dealership, if you approach someone that's maybe a senior tech or with some experience, talk to them about appropriate tools that will be better for you in the long run. I worked at Toyota, and some of the guys would buy the cheap Toyota cups for the filters, the canisters. Those cups would break and then they'd be down waiting on a tool truck or whoever. Buy a quality piece, buy something that's going to last, it's not going to leave you stranded. That is something that we would use 10 times a day. You've got to pay a little bit more to get something that's better. The $20 Toyota cup does not work. The $60 one, it has taken a beating and a half and it's still unscratched. It's perfect. These are the type of things you have to consider for your individual basis. And again, I don't care what you're working on, there are some tools you can buy the cheap versions. So before you go shelling out what would be a start of maybe $1,500 to $2,000, make sure you have a good list of investment, things that you know you're going to need, and things you know isn't going to make a difference. Make your list, tailor it to your individual needs, and although other people mean well in their advice, remember, Their situation may not be like yours. You've got to check your own personal status.